Hey folks, Dave here, and welcome back to my custom Minutemen bootcamp build here in Fallout 4. And we are at the name of the settlement that I have actually forgotten, it's been so long. Sunshine Tidings Co-op. As you guys can tell, I've taken a week or so break from both playing and building in Fallout 4 after the completion of my tour of the Somerville Sanctuary build. That build, of course, was a ridiculous amount of work, lots of editing for the video, and I was a bit creatively exhausted after that, but very, very happy with the final result. But after spending some time playing some Witcher and some Battlefield and just relaxing a bit, and also working on an upcoming Skyrim mod project that you guys will hear more about this month, I am ready to get back to building here on the bootcamp. And I'm looking around right here because I've made some decisions on the direction for this build because I was still kind of iffy on a couple of things that we've been working on. I like the hospital, and I like the use of the ranger cabins as the barracks, but I think this additional cabin that we had added, while it fit in pretty well, when looked at in the context of all the other stuff that we've added, it was just getting way too crowded, and also we had to add so many of these stupid rock pieces to get it to look right. So let me go into the free cam for a second. As you guys can see, that actually lets the settlement breathe some. That extra cabin right here that I just removed, that was making this already crowded settlement way, way too crowded. Got our side entrance right here, and the main entrance where I have actually moved our Minutemen statue, and a couple of new structures that I'm saving for the final tour. You guys won't get to see a few of these buildings until I give Joel the full tour. I do like to keep a couple of things secret even as I do these live build videos, just so you guys have some bonus stuff to look forward to in that final tour. But the other reason that I want to clear up this center section is because of a suggestion that you guys have been really stuck on, and don't worry, it's one that I have been holding on to as well. And that is to create a Minutemen obstacle course here in the center of the boot camp. I wasn't sure if I'd do a small one or a big one, but I really think that a good size obstacle course would really help break up these outer buildings and walls here at the settlement. So let me go out of free cam here. It'll also make good use of this former crop area that's kind of overgrown with bushes and cracked mud textures. So I guess the only thing that's left to do is for me to figure out what I want this obstacle course to look like. So you know what? Let me grab my phone here. Let's look up a couple of reference pictures for some real world courses. Okay, Google. Obstacle course, military. Okay, so we've got some benches, some rope climbing walls. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna start with an initial fence that has to be climbed. So I'm gonna go to Homemaker. And then fences, and I want to see what we have for the miscellaneous barriers. Make sure that my surface snapping is on. There's our first miscellaneous barrier, that's pretty good. This one could be our running long jump. As long as my settlers don't knock it over. And don't worry, I do realize that these are floating. I'll fix them here in a minute. I just want to get a good look at how the course is going to run. Here we go. This makes a nice first fence to climb over. I might actually ring this whole thing in with some fencing to keep everybody organized and on track. Got a big gravel wall here. This one category is actually making for some pretty good initial setup for the wall. Got some stone here. On a side note here, I forgot to turn on the music for this recording from the earlier tour at Somerville Sanctuary, so I hope you guys enjoyed these Bob Ross style acoustic jams pleasantly playing in the background. So they'll have to climb over that pile of gravel walls and then up this pile of tires. Here we go, just that smaller set of tires. At least it's not quite as tall. I can tilt those and get them to sink into the ground just a bit. Looks pretty good. So you gotta kind of hop over and then like that. Now to hop over these barriers, I'm thinking some kind of wooden platform. Sit. Now here's a quick peek for what the final product is going to look like, but let's take just a quick break and get a word from our sponsor, Loot Crate. And I am very excited to talk about last month's magical DX box, which is the kind of premium Loot Crate. If you use the code EvilViking13 for any of your Loot Crate orders, you do get 10% off of your order. As you guys know, I am a huge Witcher fan, from the books to the games, and when I heard that there was going to be some Witcher loot in November's DX box and that the overall theme was magical, I had to get my hands on it. So thank you to Loot Crate for sending it out. This magical DX box included a couple of loot items from a few of my favorite magical themed series, including Harry Potter and of course The Witcher. So great work guys on picking out stuff for this box. I really enjoyed it. Again, if you guys go to lootcrate.com and use promo code EvilViking13, you can get 10% off of your order and help support the channel while also getting some awesome loot of your own. And now back to the build, where I'm going to get that wooden platform completed for the jump section. I might just turn, let's see, object snapping on and just use a basic wood floor. Like a few tiles of it, and then put some supports underneath of that. So I could do this, and this, and that. I'll just do two, make it more narrow. So you've got to climb this ramp and vault the two caution signs without knocking them over. That one needs to go down just a bit. Those are pretty easy to hop over, but a couple in a row kind of slows you down there. That works. I'll just put a support there. We're definitely going to have a couple of balance beams, I think, coming off that dirt mound on the way back. Yeah, so options include balance beams. Let's move our recruitment beacon over here. Balance beams, as well as some of those rope climbing deals where you climb upside down up the rope. I think maybe two side by side should do it. We'll angle it out just a tiny bit, and I'll add some supports under them in a second. You know, I've got some longer boards here. That's looking good. And then just a tiny bit more. Which will lead out to our raised platform, I think. Which will then also have those upside down climbing ropes too. Just trying to make good use of my space up here. I can't quite turn those as much as I wanted. Not if I want the ropes to actually start at a reasonable angle. Okay. So then you come out like that. And I might use telephone poles to simulate the climbing ropes. That could work pretty well. Yeah. Well, let's add the wooden supports first for the the single walking boards before I forget that they actually need those. Just going to go to my miscellaneous category and pick up a couple of these vertical columns. I'll just put them where the gaps are. See, there's one right there. And then another. Last one's here. Cool. It's looking very authentic. Now for our climbing ropes. I'll probably just do, let's say, 3 of them. I do want to see, though, if the power poles actually look good as climbing ropes. I'm not sure how convincing this is going to be until I actually try it. How did I manage to miss all of the basic power poles? Let's go all the way back. One thing I do miss about not working in the creation kit and doing this all in game is I can't just search for what I'm looking for in the list. There's a basic power pole. Okay guys, I think I'm beginning to see how I want this to come together. Let's do 2 poles like this and see how the rope looks. Hey, I think it works. Just gonna lower it a bit more. Give you a chance to grab on there. That is gonna go uphill. . And then our last one. Let's lower that one down too. Move it up way high. Very cool. So there's our climbing, I guess, wires technically. I think we should probably have some kind of cinder blocks for this first wall. I'm gonna lower these pieces down too. Well, no, the first wall's got some slats you can kind of hook into. This one, though, could use some cinder blocks. Let's see. Structure is miscellaneous. I think the cinder blocks are going to be in here somewhere. No? Okay. Structures, snap and build, junk fences. One of these would make a really awesome climbing wall, though. While we're here. Yeah, there we go. There's our climbing wall. That worked out. So the course is going to run in a S pattern, basically. You start here, hop this fence. I'm going to put the cinder blocks right there. Hop that fence, hop these two. Hop the barriers, don't knock them over. Climb over the gravel wall. Climb up the tires, over the stone wall. Around here. Tightrope. Or walkway, I guess. And climb the wires. And I'm going to have a raised platform with some stairs right here at the end of the climbing wires. It's just bothering me that I can't figure out where the cinder blocks are, but I know that there are some in... Is it this one? No. I think it's thematic and practical. Has the props. Let's see. Heads on spikes for the tires. That's kind of extreme. Aha, decorations. Decorations, cinder blocks. And then just a small one for this side. Looking good. And besides the climbing wall, I also want to have the kind of section where you have to hop over the tires. There we go. Nice big ones. And then finally, a crawling section with barbed wire. That'll go through there. Burning through some rubber here. Good grief. That's looking good there. Oh, look, it's our first victim coming to investigate. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tires. I'll remove just one so that we have an even amount you have to hop. Here we go. Let's make this part more interesting. Hop the small fence, get stuck in the tires. Perfect. Well, with that settled, trying to think what's next, the barbed wire or the platform. Let's go for the platform. I'm gonna look at the Trading Emporium base pieces here. I think those will work out nicely because they come with extension pieces as well as stairs. So for instance, I should be able to add a piece on like that. Yeah, this is looking awesome. I'm liking this, guys. And then how will the stairs look? They're not going to work out like that. How about that? Now they really got to come down over here. So instead, I'm going to try and just use our basic vanilla stairs from the base game. Will they snap is the question. Oh, they will. Look at that. So you get up here to the platform, run down the stairs, and up the climbing wall you go. I think they're supposed to have ropes, so let's get creative here, guys. Let's use power connectors again as ropes. I think maybe, let's see, copper's a little bit expensive, so let's just do 2 ropes, quote unquote. That one's got to go in just a bit like that. And then of course we need to have a correct support over here at the decking. It's going to be structures and then miscellaneous. Not the bloody pillar. Just a normal pillar, please. Yeah. Just a normal column. I'm going to increase his size just a bit. There we are. No railings. If you fall off the deck, we really can't help you. You have failed your training. Let's do a quick save here because I also want to go back and add a second gravel wall to this middle section. Let's also look at my source material once again. Okay. We could put some hurdles down too, which I'm thinking I'll use benches for. First things first though, let's concentrate on, let's see, HM structures, then fences, and then miscellaneous barriers. There's our barbed wire. Our Diamond City fence, which means the gravel wall should be somewhere right there. Okay. And then once you get up here, let's see, got some sandbags we could use. Then one extra sandbag that got left behind. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to use these concrete barricades to just kind of mark out the edge of the course here. The only question though is with my barbed wire course coming through here, I guess it'll have to stop and only go for like these two little sections right here. So they've got to kind of start at the same place underneath the bridge. So we've got at least 15 feet or so of the barbed wire crawl. Whew, 5 concrete apiece. Okay. Then you come down off of the landing after the wire crawling. And you come right around to the rope climb. Like it. Then the tires, and now it's finally time for the barbed wire itself. So let's see what we have to work with. I do want to actually cover everything with barbed wire if possible, but if that's not possible, I could always put boards across the top, but it would be really awesome to actually have this wire fencing as the roof too. Maybe I can use chain link instead of barbed wire. That could work. I think we have a post we can put for the end. Where is the end? There's the end. You guys probably can't even see it through all the YouTube compression, but it's right there in the middle of the bush. And don't pick the left route. Although the left one's got the bush in it, and the right one's got the roots in it, so there's no easy path either way. I wonder if I could actually lay down the chain link fences just right on top, horizontally. It could be tricky to pull off, but I might give it a shot. I could also put the wires across with the conduits, just like before for the ropes. So we do have a couple of different options. That one definitely needs to be tilted. And then this one. Let's not get too low, I guess. Gonna have them scraping their heads all the way through here. I appear to have come up against my own barriers. So we'll just let them stand up once they get out to here. And exit the course, perhaps with some kind of, I don't know, finish line or something. What's a good finish line? Not that barrier, but let's see, barriers and platforms. So at the end of the course, perhaps you can just hop up onto this little metal stand, and that is the finish line. I don't know, I might come up with something else later, but this was here, and I want to look at my options for the top of the wire first. I'll come back to the end point. It's our barbed wire crawl. Now for that top piece. Yeah, I think chain link is going to be the first thing that I try. Mainly because it's right here. So if I put a piece down like this, and then lay it flat, okay. I can't move it with a mouse once I've got it rotated because it tends to freak out, but that actually looks quite good, I think, at least. You guys tell me what you think. I should just need the 2 pieces, I think, for each side. one piece is not quite cooperating. So I might make it so that this side ends a little bit earlier, but it also ends inside of a bush. Toggle snapping off. This piece is going to go this way. Whew. Thought I lost it under the ground for a second there. That piece is going to go that way. It's also going to be harder to get under this side, I think, by like a few inches, so you've got to kind of pay for it if you pick the side without the bush. And you're still going to have those roots too. No getting out of that. Well, I tried moving it with the mouse and it went a little bit haywire, just like that. There we go. So I'll just use the place everywhere keyboard commands to get this lined up. And then one final piece, again, making this second lane a bit harder to make up for the lack of the bush right in the way. All right, that's a surprisingly complete obstacle course. I wasn't 100% sure if I'd be able to actually make a lot of this when I got started, but here we are, guys. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I am now remembering, though, that I was talking about some vaulting obstacles up here, and then got distracted placing all of the barriers for the edge of the obstacle course. So let's go ahead and put those down now. I'm just going to use wooden benches, and that'll end things for the obstacle course as a whole, I think. Let's see. Is it chairs, or is it actually benches? I think it's just under chairs. Yep, bench. So turning surface snapping back on. Or not. Terrain's too hilly. Just gonna place a couple of these. For our MINUTEMEN trainees to have to hop over as they're navigating the obstacle course. Now we're talking. It does seem appropriate that I'm wearing my 4-star general helmet and smiling creepily for this part of the build. So you gotta hop that fence, then hop this barrier.
Yeah?
I guess that's the only part that's difficult about that. Nothing really right here, and then through the tires and the small fences, and then over that barrier, and then over the stone, up the tires, over the wall, over the benches, over the sandbags. There we go, even with the keyboard. And then of course I have no way to actually climb these, but you climb those. Get to this platform, and you climb the climbing wall, and hop through all the tires, and then you climb through the barbed wire, which I don't think Fallout 4 actually has prone. Man, you guys really can tell that I took a week off. Been playing some Arma in the meantime too. Wow, okay, so cool. That's the obstacle course basically complete, with the exception of perhaps some of my General Dave propaganda and some small prop detailing. I've got a few ideas for that, but I will keep them secret until the final tour. For now, let's find some area elsewhere in this boot camp to turn our attention to. Perhaps, yeah, let's work on one of these cabins. But first, I'm going to take 5. Okay guys, I've taken a look at the cabin here. I think I have a rough plan for how it's going to work out. Not sure why this one is kind of gray colored, but hey, that works. Breaks up the repetition. I've started things out by placing a tilted stairway right here, so we can just use this broken bit too.
Don't much care for good neighbor.
I'm trying to clean up some of these ghoul bodies. I think if I disable them, they'll just respawn, so maybe I'll start a, I don't know, bonfire out here for the ghoul bodies. I don't know. We'll see. Now, I'm basically imagining this as a World War II style barracks. So, just single beds, these kind of military style cots, along with lockers for each bed. I'm going to have some common areas in the cafeteria, so I need you to get out of the way, buddy. Let's give him a single thing of crops just to get him out of the way. There. 1 carrot for you. Get to it.
Okay.
Okay. And we're also going to need some lights in here. Probably just 1 light per barracks should do it. Question is, do I want foot lockers or do I want tall lockers? Six beds per barracks, so we've got 6, 12, 18, and I might turn that broken last cabin into a barracks as well. The one that I was going to use for a storage room right there on the far side. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and put up a light so we can see what we're doing here. There we are. That should do it for the barracks, nice and simple. As far as lighting goes, at least. Let's look at storage furniture. Well, let's also see if our beds are actually lined up. Yeah, that's close enough. That one's kind of in the wall a bit. But I'm not going to worry about making them perfect because they look more realistic when they're not perfect. There's the footlocker. Oh man, I'm down to 367 wood already. Jeez. Somerville ate up my wood supplies. Maybe I'll actually do footlockers and tall lockers. This guy's gonna have to have one against the back wall because of all these leaves that no one's cleaned up. Tisk, tisk. And I think I might put a fireplace inside of each cabin for heat. It might just be because it's actually winter time where I am, but I'm starting to worry about how these places actually keep their settlers warm. Look at this guy harvesting that 1 carrot non-stop. Dedication. So I think the full-size lockers are from the Homemaker mod. Let's see, furniture, containers, supplies. That's a cool rusted locker. Let's use those. So my idea behind the stylings for these barracks is basically that this is not a place where you make yourself at home. It's a military barracks. You're here for training. You're here for, I don't know, 8 weeks or whatever it might be, and you're gone. So really no personal effects, no comforts of home, just bare bones organization. And these will all basically be the same as far as the barracks go, so I probably won't do more than this one during the live build videos. I'll just do the rest of my own and try to add a few surprises here and there. Let's see, decorations, miscellaneous fireplaces. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of a fireplace. Although these leaves feel kind of dangerous. Being in the fire like that. So maybe I'll fix it with a mantelpiece or something. But then I can add a chimney in the back. Make it look good. Could have sworn that we had chimneys. And you know what? Let's use this cinder block concrete mantle instead of the fancy brick one, because odds are these cabins would not have had fancy brick, or if the Minutemen built these fireplaces after the Great War, I doubt we'd be laying brick all fancy for just a, you know, recruitment cabin anyway. Trying to think, where have I seen chimneys? Let's see, decorations. Let's check the Greebles mod. This category is essentially all kinds of stuff from the base game that you would normally place in the creation kit when you're building a full level for Fallout. But thanks to mods, I can actually build a lot of this stuff here in workshop mode, which is cool. Only downside being that it's not really realistic how much it costs, you know, 1 aluminum. But odds are this stuff is the kind of thing that we would have either found here or, you know, pulled in from somewhere else. So we're not really building it, we're just kind of looting it. That's my immersion excuse for why this stuff is so cheap to decorate with. What is that? Jet engine? Red chain light? Ancient pot? Lots of machinery. I'm really just looking for a good looking chimney. What is that, a cow statue? Some of those pipes back there would probably work okay, or one of these pipes. Records, repair bay, research, sick bay. Those are cool. Ship wheel, coffin. Here we go, guys. Although my workshop is now spinning out of control, this pipe should do the trick once it's not floating. There we go. Now we have a smokestack for our fireplace. Again, the kind of thing that no one's going to notice unless I point it out. but I like to cover all my bases here. Let's go ahead and just decorate the inside here. Miscellaneous, we got some trash, some more random decorations. Put an ashtray out front. Right in front of the hospital, ironically. Some candles here on the mantle. Ooh, a ceiling bell. This is great for calling out the recruits in the morning. Gonna hang that off the front porch. Some chairs in storage. Makes sense. Just put 2 of them here. Some boxes for storage. I'm just going to put, I think, 1 of these. Again, not going crazy with the decorations because this is you know, a full military facility, hence the patriotic eagle. So no nice plants or anything. I'm thinking about hanging a animal head over the mantle though. I will place a radio. Perhaps up here. Yeah, let's look at mounted creatures. Ooh, I've got a Deathclaw head here. Although for this settlement, the ghoul head kind of makes sense too. Let's move this down some. And finally, some flags for around the fireplace. Do the American flag. And then the MINUTEMEN flag. Not a whole lot of wall space left. So let's not actually add any more banners in here. Thinking about, yeah, do one out here and shrink it down just 10%. Then finally, to help keep the heat in, let's board up the windows that are broken with some miscellaneous wood pieces. Got a big one here. Use that for the big window. Go away, snapping. The bed's stuck to it now. There we go. Then some smaller pieces to put over the front windows. No, let's leave those front windows open. I'm going to put some glass inside of those. I'll just close up the side windows here. That might be covering up that flag out there now. I'll have to go look. Oh, those are floating really badly. Come on. There we go. Much better. That one's gonna bother me now. Here we go. Let's just rotate that in place. Awesome. There we go. Shrinking it down one more size. Worked out pretty well. This side looks good. Chimney looks good. Hard to believe that this wall is only like 1 polygon thick, so it has no actual depth to it, but we can fake it. I think the smokestack still works. Trying to think where those glass pieces are. I haven't used them in a long while. Not since my, where's the big ones? Not since my Croup Manor bunker, I don't think. Ooh, but there are some small window pieces. I know actually where they are. In wood miscellaneous. Yeah, there we go. So we can basically just repair the window with one of these. That looks pretty cool. Snug it up just like that. That'll leave them 2 windows facing the center of the camp that are actually still usable. Anything else? Yeah, I think I'll add a few small posters and all, but overall the design is what I was looking for. Yeah, I'll do the small prop detailing later. The only thing that's left to do is to fix those leaves that are clipping inside of the the fireplace. Those would definitely be burning. Don't want to leave them sitting there. Come on, workshop mode. All right, concrete floors. Looking for just a basic stone something. Very rough looking. Shack foundation brick. That could do the trick. Oh, can't see it inside yet. So what I'm trying to do here, guys, is just cover up those leaves without having to modify things that were already here in the settlement, like the leaf decorations. I prefer to not mess with stuff like that, wherever possible. So I'm going to shrink this down. Do that like that. Move the mantle up. Although I was trying to avoid a fancy brick deal here in the barracks with the mantle, now I have one as a base. Didn't really think that through, but that gets it out of the leaves. As long as it's not floating, I think we'll be okay. That block floating. No, but it is kind of distracting. what could we do with that? Maybe a wooden wall that's like leaning against the side, waiting to be worked on. There we go. That covers it up nicely. Add one more piece to it. It's trying to snap to it. That's kind of funny. Turn object snapping off. And to really cover it up, let's add a bush or something here. Small trees. Oh, hey guys, we have monkey bars. Well, those are definitely getting added to the obstacle course here somehow. Oh yeah, maybe you can actually take the monkey bars over to the last platform, and that's where things end. Well, thought I was almost done here, guys. Don't know what any of this stuff is. It's not working now. Branch, no, a swing. So perhaps decorations, and then HM, there we go. Then landscaping, Commonwealth trees. That's what I'm looking for. Gotta find a real good covering one here. Oh no, 15 wood. I gotta make my choice carefully here. And one more small one just to help it fit in. Okay, that's pretty convincing, guys. So, on my own, I'm going to add the other side of this platform right here. We'll have the monkey bars end right in front of the fence that leads to the shooting range. And that should be a good way to end our obstacle course. So, yeah, that's enough for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.